Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video, which is going to be on this beautiful soft smoky glam makeup look, perfect for any prom, bridal, graduation, bridesmaid, anything soft glam. It's so easy to do, but if you would like a makeup artist to do your makeup for prom or any bridesmaid, bridal looks, then you can book in with me. The link to book in with me is in my Instagram bio, and my Instagram is linked in the description of this video. But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoy this makeup look, and I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and other than that, let's get into it. For any prom or bridal look, you always want to start with your eyes, just because then the face is going to be the last thing, so that it's going to last longer, and also we can then clean up any excess that falls out or anything. You always want to start with your eyes. With that being said, I always like to do brows first, especially because a brow lays flat and it just doesn't disrupt any other makeup if you do it first with nothing else on your face. So I'm using the by Caitlin Collection brow gel, as I always use, and I'm just going to lay my brows flat. Even if you don't like a soap brow, I would still recommend using a brow gel for any prom or bridal looks, just because it's going to keep your hairs in place where you want them. If you don't like a fluffy kind of soap brow look, what you would want to do is go in with your eyebrow pencil first, and then just go in with a little bit of this over the top to lay them in place. However, I really like a soap brow, and I just use it to flatten down my hairs. I use the other end of the spoolie to push them flat to my face, and then I like to go over the top of the hairs just to make that into a nice brow shape. Whilst that is drying down, before I go in with any more brow products, I'm just going to cut underneath the brows. I always recommend doing this, especially for prom or bridal looks, because it just really gives you a highlighted and defined brow without like making the brows heavy themselves. So I'm just taking my Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I'm just using a flat brush, and I'm just carefully underlining the brow. Try and get as close to your brow as you possibly can, but without going into the hairs. And then you can kind of use the flat edge to blend this down onto your eyelid, and this is going to serve as a base for the eyeshadow as well. You can use like an actual eyeshadow primer if you wish, but I think concealer does just fine. You then want to blend this out with a beauty blender, just because this is going to give us a really soft blended base. I feel like everything bridal and everything prom, or like a bridesmaid makeup look, basically a soft glam, you want everything to be blended and seamless and to just look natural whilst like kind of enhancing your features. Once that is all blended out, I'm just taking a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to set this with some powder. I'm just using the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the shade Peach Glow. You still want to set this before putting on any eyeshadows, because this is going to ensure that we're not getting any creases, and it's also going to make the eyeshadows blend really well. I'm now just taking a makeup wipe, and I'm just going to take off any of the brow product that has gone on the forehead, because this is going to make the foundation go really weird if you don't take this off. I have made this mistake many times. Next, I'm just going in with another brow product. I'm using the Soap & Glory Archery, and this has got like a pencil one end and then a pen at the other end, and I just go in with this, and I kind of just add a couple more hairs to the arch. I don't really add any more. I just add them to the arch where I need a bit more coverage. Now we can move on to eyeshadow, and I'm using the Beauty Bay Origin palette. You can use any palette that you have, but you just want to have one that's got kind of warm neutral browns, cool tone browns, and any kind of shimmers as well. You just want one, mainly with transition shades, some darker browns. Yeah, you can use any palette you like, but I really do love this palette. The shadows blend so easily, and they just have all of the perfect colours that you need for a bridal or soft glam look. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to go in with a really light brown for the transition shade, and I'm going to start off with a cool tone. So I'm just going to go in with this one here, and this is going to be a transition shade. So I'm starting off in the outer corner, doing kind of backwards and forwards and circular motions, and I'm bringing this upwards as I blend, backwards and forwards and out into the outer corner, and then bringing this upwards and forwards into the crease. I'm flicking this outwards as well towards the tail of my eyebrow, just to blend that out, and then also bringing this up into the middle of the eyelid on the crease. Okay, now I'm going in with a slightly darker brown. I'm just going to take the one next to it, this one here, and we're going to focus this more towards the lower lash line. So I'm just starting here, I'm taking this on the same brush, and I'm just going in backwards and forwards motions in the outer corner and bringing this to the lower lash line. And then we're going to gently blend this out, flicking it out towards the end of the brow again and bringing this upwards into the crease. This is just going to darken up the outer corner, but we're still keeping this very light-handed, and we're not going to be going any darker than this. Now, because it is a soft glam, we're going to be doing a shadow liner. We're not going to be using gel liner. However, if you have like really watery eyes, I would recommend using a gel liner, something like the Maybelline gel liner. That is really, really good. But for a soft glam, I'm going to stick with a shadow liner. So I'm just going to take a really dark brown. I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to take it on a little angled brush. Just dip it in gently into the eyeshadow. Make sure you tap off any excess. And we're basically just going to come to the lower lash line, do some dots on the lower lash line first, just to make sure that the outer lashes kind of have something extra going on. It's going to give us a little bit more depth, and it's going to make our lashes blend really nicely as well. And then you're going to take the angled brush. The brush is kind of going to do a liner for you. So you're going to come up towards the tail of your eyebrow and kind of just drag it towards your lash line. And you can extend this as little or as much as you want. I do quite like a big eyeliner, so I'm just going to extend this a little bit more. As you can see, this is really, really subtle, but it is just giving us that extra little definition. The next step is just take a makeup wipe and clean this up. You can keep this really sharp, or you can keep this blended. I tend to really like a sharp look, so I am going to be just taking this directly under the eyeliner and bringing it up like so. Now for my favorite part, the glitter pigment. First, I'm gonna go in with the Primark highlighter drops. You kind of just want anything creamy. You can use concealer, you could use an eyeshadow primer, you could use a liquid highlighter. This is a liquid highlighter, and what this is going to do is just going to stick the pigment really, really well to the lid, and it's just going to make it last on your eyes all day. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but I think it really, really does help to keep the pigment in place and to make the pigment really pop itself. So I'm just taking a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take a little brush like so, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to pat it onto the lid. You could just do this as a look in itself, to be fair, because it's so beautiful, but this is going to make our gold pigment really, really pop. Now it's time to go in with my favourite. This is the pigment from Peaches and Cream, and this is in the shade Gatsby. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous loose eyeshadow, and oh, it's just perfect for any bridal or prom makeup look. I really, really, it's just stunning. And we're just going to pat this on top of where we have laid that liquid illuminator. Make sure to really pack it on. Oh my god, it's just absolutely stunning. Can you see that? It's just beautiful. The camera is really not doing this justice. Once you have applied as much or as little as you want to go back in with your blending brush and just blend out the edges, so across the top and also the edge of the pigment, and this is just going to help to make this really seamless and blend the glitter into the brown. Okay, I just applied a quick coat of mascara off camera, and now it's time for lashes. Now for a bridal or a prom or bridesmaid, just any soft glam, you want to go in with half lashes because a full lash is going to look a bit too heavy. So I am going to be going in with the Demi Lash Primer half lashes. These ones, I have used them before, no shame in using lashes more than once. However, if you do want a cheaper alternative, I got these off of Amazon. You get so many in the pack, and honestly, they're so good. So you don't need to spend a lot on lashes. I really am an advocate for that. You don't need to spend a lot on them. So I do have tutorials up on my channel on how to apply full lashes and half lashes, so I will link that in the description or in the iCards. I gently place these on the outer corner of your lash line, and make sure that the front part of the lash is not creating like a band, so you kind of want to point this downwards. Okay, once these have dried down a bit, you then want to clump them to your actual natural lashes. So I just take the tweezers and kind of like squeeze them together. Please be careful when you're doing this to not poke your eyeball out. For primer, you want one that's going to really minimise your pores, minimise any oil, and so I'm going in with the Body Collection Pore Minimising Primer. I've never actually tried this before, but I believe that it's good for any oils and for making your base look really smooth. And that is obviously what we want for any bridal or prom makeup, because you're going to be sweating, you're going to have this makeup on all day, and so we really want a good primer to make the base last. This feels really, really nice on the skin. It feels very hydrating, even though it's a pore minimizing and a mattifying primer. This actually feels really like moisturizing. We're gonna let that sink in, and then I'm gonna use a trick that Jordan Lipscomb does on TikTok, and she sets her primer. I have never ever done this before, but we're gonna give it a go. I feel like that is really doing something, like that's really mattifying that primer, and I cannot see my pores here. For foundation, for a bridal or a prom look, we really want coverage, but we don't want it to be too heavy coverage. So I'm going in with the NYX Born to Glow foundation, and this is in the shade Light Ivory. And I'm first going to take a brush just to apply this to the face, and then we're going to go in with a beauty blender to blend this out. You want to use a beauty blender because this is going to give us a really flawless base. We don't want it to be cakey, we want it to look very natural but also get that coverage in there, and a beauty blender is going to do that for you. I absolutely love this foundation. I feel like it's so buildable and it gives you like the perfect coverage, but it doesn't look too heavy. So I'd really recommend this for any bridal or prom makeup looks where you want that coverage but you want it to still look like skin and to look like skin in photos as well. Make sure you go up to your brows as well. Obviously, because we did those first, we haven't got any concealer around them, so I just take my foundation and kind of go to the edge of the brows just to blend them in, but we don't want like a really harsh line, so I just use the beauty blender again to do that. This foundation is so buildable. You can literally just keep going to build up the coverage. I've got an absolute massive spot on my chin at the moment, so that is where I need that. Once that is blended in, we're going to go in with some cream contour, and I'm just taking that foundation in a darker shade, so this is in the shade Sienna. And for a bridal look, we really do not want a lot of this. And I'm just going to literally dab in the ends of that. I'm just going to gently buff this in with the brush. And then kind of like pat and blend this upwards. As you can see, that's just given us a really nice bronze without being too harsh, because this is a bridal / prom look. We don't want the contour to be too dark, but we do want to use cream products because that's going to really make the makeup last on our face. I'm now going in with concealer, and I'm going for a bright under eye as per, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I'm just going to take this underneath my eyes. I'm just going to take this on the chin as well, a little bit on the forehead. For the concealer under the eye, I'm blending this all the way up to the eye, and then we are taking this underneath the eyeshadow liner as well. That's going to give us a really nice, sharp, kind of snatched look. It's now time for cream blush, and I'm going to go in with the Primark cream blush. This is just the light pink one, and I'm just going to, again, blend this out with my beauty blender. You don't have to go in with these cream products if you want a more natural finish. However, I do think that this is going to really make the makeup last on your face. Just make sure to blend out any creases underneath the eye before we set this. And I'm then going in with my loose powder and a Trigwell Cosmetics powder puff. This is just going to really make the under eyes pop. We're going to set them so that they stay in place all day. And it's just going to give us that really flawless under eye. And I'm going to set my chin with this as well, and I'm going to set my nose and my forehead. Okay, now for cream highlight, I'm going to go in with my Benefit High Beam. I'm just going to pop this on my cheekbone. Guys, this is taking me so long to film because my camera keeps dying. We're going to power through, so it's now time to go underneath the eyes. So I'm just taking a little flat brush, and I'm going to take the dark brown shade, and we're just going to concentrate this on the outer lower lash line. So just gently pop this under the lower lash line. We're going to keep this quite natural and light and blend this out, because for a bridal look you really don't want the under eye to be really dark. You want to keep the brightness from the concealer. And I'm then taking the big fluffy brush and just blending this out. Okay, I've just popped some mascara on my bottom lashes, and now it's time to finish off the rest of the base. So I'm just taking my Doll Beauty bronzer, and I'm just going to gently pat this on top of that cream bronzer that we already popped down. We don't want to drag this across the skin, you just want to gently pat just to give us a natural bronzed look, and especially for a bridal or a prom makeup you don't want this to be too harsh. I'm actually really surprised with how much I'm liking this soft glam on myself. Like, you know me, I'm a full glam girly, but this actually looks quite cute. And then just taking a little eyeshadow brush and I'm taking that bronzer down the sides of my nose, just very gently. We don't want this to be too harsh, especially for a bridal or a prom makeup look. Just gently down the sides of the nose to give us some definition, and then I like to take this under the nose as well, just to give us kind of like a button nose effect. For powder blush, I'm taking my Doll Beauty blush in the shade Take Me to the Peach. This is super nice for any bridal or prom makeup looks because it's not too like red, it just gives you a really nice soft blush. For highlighter, I'm taking my Technique Get Gorgeous highlighter, and I'm just going to take this on a small brush, get quite a bit of this. As you know, I love highlight, and this is going to look really nice in any wedding photos or any prom photos. I feel like you definitely need a highlight. As you can see, it's absolutely stunning. I'm taking this on the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and my Cupid's bow as well. This on the brow bone and also on my inner corner. Now I'm just going to take my powder, and I'm going to take my powder puff, and I'm just going to cut underneath the contour just to set this and also sharpen it up. I'm also going to take this on the sides of my nose to sharpen up that nose contour that we did as well. And I'm then dusting this off with a big fluffy brush. My camera died again, but anyway, powder products are all done, so now it's time for lips, and I am going in with a nude pinky lip. I feel like this is perfect for any eyeshadow look, any prom, bridal, anything. So I'm going in with the Doll Beauty lip line in the shade Princess, and I'm going to take this over my lip line, and then I'm also going to bring it in a little bit to blend in with the liquid lipstick. I love this lip liner. I feel like it's the perfect dark nude. But then I'm going to go in with the Essence Matte Liquid Lipstick. Even if you're going in with a gloss, you still want to do a matte base, because this is going to last on your lips throughout drinking, throughout talking. Just, it's going to give you the most longevity with your makeup. So I'm just popping this in the center, and then I'm going to take a brush and blend this into the lip liner. Okay, once that has dried down, I'm then going to go in with a gloss, and this is the Doll Beauty Glitterly Smitten Gloss, and I'm just going to pop this over the top of this matte liquid lipstick. You could keep this matte if you would want to. I would probably keep it matte as well, because it's just going to last on your lips a lot longer, but I do know a lot of people like gloss, and it is going to look really nice in photos. So I'm then just tapping this on the center of the lips. And then last but not least, you need a fixing spray. I would kind of go for a higher end fixing spray if you can afford it, but I have just got the Essence Fix and Last 18 Hour Setting Spray, and it does the job. But another higher end good product, it would be the Urban Decay All Nighter or the MAC Fix Plus. Give your face a good coating of that, because you want to keep this on all day. And that is the finished makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.